Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all good. Tuesday evening, and yeah, we're going to do a beer review. So what have we got coming up? We got one of the craft beers coming up that I got from Trembling Madness. We are sort of running to the end of the beers that I picked up from there. I think, I'm not sure. I think there may only be 3 other beers apart from this one that I've got left to do from that order, and even one of them is a bitter. It's an old school sort of beer. So we are coming to the end of the big sort of priced craft beers. Saying that, I have got port infused plum porter from Titanic to do, and I have got a barrel aged stout, imperial stout from Salopian, but that I may well sit on that for a while. But for now, we got the beer that I've got here now. I've just got the price list out. So what where we are going to is Yorkshire, I believe they're from, or Leeds, I think. And we are going to Tartarus, and we've got a can of their Kobold hefeweizen, and it's coming in at 5.5%. It's in a 440ml can, and I was getting a bit of paper just so I could tell you how much it was. So bear with me for a second. Baz is half asleep. I'm feeling a bit cream crackered. I tell you what, it's killing me since I've gone back to work. It's only sort of like my second week and I'm bloody knackered, I really am. Here we are. £3.90. £3.90 for this. 5.5%, 440ml can. I wouldn't say that's exactly a massive rip-off, but hopefully it's good. Beautiful artwork, like most of their cans are. I've had 2 cans of theirs, or 2 beers of theirs. One was a rice lager, which I was, but great artwork on that. This has got great artwork, as I'm showing you, and I've seen other people review their beers, and the artwork's great on this stuff. Anyway, let's stop waffling on. We've got a hefeweizen or wheat beer glass at the ready. Texel's one, because I don't have a Tartarus one. So let's get this cracked open and see what we get. Well, it's lively. We've got a bit of a foamage coming out the top. Look at that, that is a lively old bugger. But it's certainly something you sort of expect from the style. Maybe not this lively. Maybe not this lively. I'm not going to take the blame for that pour. It's a lively beer. I tilted it. I've done everything right, I think. But it seems to be a little bit lively. So I think, well, actually, I was going to pause it. Let's make this a long review. What I'll do, I'll leave that to settle a bit and we'll see what we get. But yeah, like I say, we're coming to the end of the big sort of price craft beers. I've got lots of supermarket stuff to come. I'm also going to hit some other supermarkets. So I'll be going in all these sort of different places. I'm going to check out the co-ops around where I live, Home Bargains, Iceland, Marks and Spencer's. I'll probably end up going to Shrewsbury at some point and popping into Tesco's and that. Waitrose, I'm not going to travel that far. That's Chester way. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more sort of accessible stuff coming. And I'm just waffling away while I'm waiting for this to settle. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's still a fair bit in the can. The beer in a glass, look at that. It's very, 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 very pale, I would say. That's certainly a lot paler than I would expect from a hefeweizen. There's plenty of bubbles going up in the middle, as you can maybe see if I keep it steady. We've only got a 4-finger head now, as opposed to about 6. There's some big bubbles in there, so that will go down, and the beer has risen up as well. So, I'm going to go in and give it a sniff. Like I say, there is lots in there. So I do expect the beer to change certainly quite a bit on appearances, and it wouldn't surprise me if it changed when I get the rest in on the nose. So let's give it a sniff, see what we get. Yeah, it's got that wheat beer feel about it. Wheaty, very light on the nose, very fresh on the nose, I would say. There's even maybe a little lemon sort of zing in there, but it is very light, and a very light maybe coriander thing. You know, I'm saying all the usual stuff really. Certainly not the lemon, but certainly the coriander that you'd get in there. But yeah, a little bit sweet as well. But it's not punching you in the nose. Maybe when we get a bit further down and get the rest of the can in, that will change. So for now, let's dive in on Tartarus Kobold hefeweizen. Cheers. Okay. I think I do need to try and get the rest of this in there. Be a shame to give lots of opinions on this beer before I can get, you know, because I think it will change a lot. And I do believe maybe it does need that extra bit in there to change. There's certainly, look at that. Look how much different that looks now. Swill in the can. All that sediment, all the sort of like yeastiness in there. It's definitely changed it big time. So I do apologise if I'm waffling on for way too long. 6 minutes in, you're all going to be bored shitless. I know, I do apologise. I think I'm just going to have to get it all in for you and see what we get. So ignore all that first bit. I'm not going to edit it. That is major cloudy. Major cloudy now. That is looking a lot more like a hefeweizen. I would still say it's maybe quite light, but you do get sort of, you know, slightly different colour sort of hefeweizen. I always think of being a little bit more brown. This is a bit more sort of golden. Again, a massive four-finger head, mix and match. There's some big bubbles in there. When that settles down, it probably will end up to about here, but I don't think it's going to get that far. So excuse me. I'll try and go in with the nose again. It smells a bit more sort of wheaty and yeasty, but not picking much other flavours up. So let's dive in again. We'll start again with the actual review and give it a taste. Cheers. Right. It has changed. It is a bit better. It is a bit better. The body has definitely improved. I still wouldn't say it's a massively sort of heavy, sort of wheaty beer body. A sprightly fizz across the palate. Not massively carbonated, but there is some there. Not the smoothest of mouthfeels either. We haven't even gotten the taste yet, and I'm feeling like I'm a little bit disappointed already. So let's go in on the taste. I do feel a little bit disappointed with it. Taste wise, very wheaty. I think there is that little bit of coriander in there. I'm going to stick my neck out and say there's maybe a little sort of lemon citrus thing going on. No sort of banana in there or clove sort of thing that you would maybe expect from a hefeweizen for me. I think this has more the feel of a wit beer rather than a hefeweizen. It is quite bitter on the back end, and I'm not really keen on that sort of bitterness it gives. Whether it's got a little bit of a yeasty sort of finish mixing with that bitterness, but it's not I don't think it's a nice end to this beer personally. I mean, it was muted on the nose, even when I got the extra in, but saying that, it did have a big head. The front of the beer, the mouthfeel and the body in that, I mean, let's just cut it short. I mean, it's, for me, it's all a little bit disappointing. I was certainly expecting a bit more. Yeah, a little bit disappointing. What did I say this was again? £3.90. I want to like it, but I don't know. For me, it just leaves a little bit of a nasty tang on the back end. And even the rest of the beer, it's not like I'm wowed by the rest of the beer. You know, the body and the carbonation and how smooth it is, or the taste and this, that and the other. I'm not wowed by it. And that little bit of a nasty finish to it doesn't do it for me. I mean, obviously, all different palates. Some people might not find... They might like it. They may well totally disagree with me on the back end, but yeah, I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Certainly found S43's hefeweizen much better than this personally, and I am disappointed. Don't know what to say really. 5.5%. Are you getting that? In all fairness, you know, wheat beers range around sort of 4.9 to sort of 6%. Sort of, you know, that's the sort of region I would say they sort of tend to be. It doesn't really sort of taste any different to whether it's 4.9 or 5.5. So the percentage thing is, you know, it's not overpowering, but nice enough. Just all a little bit disappointing. So it's been a long review. It's been a disappointing review. I'm actually quite gutted about this. I was expecting something really good from them. But it's probably been a shit review for you to watch. So Tartarus Kobold hefeweizen for me. Don't do it for me. Really doesn't do it for me. And it just goes to show that not all craft beer is fantastic. Yeah. Try it if you want to. If you've had it, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for dragging it out, and I'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.